What's up, guys? So today, a little video about the bike industry, which I think is going crazy, okay? I don't know if it's the bike industry or the people, because, capitalism is capitalism. People are going to, vote with their dollars, and companies are going to respond. And, that's the way it works. Something is worth what people will pay for it. And if I don't like it, that's my problem. But I also feel like the bike industry is pushing us in directions that are going to ultimately hurt cycling in the long run, and that is pushing us towards bleeding edge components. And they've been doing this for a long time, but I feel like it's getting worse. So let's just look at the first thing that triggered me on this here. It's new 105. It's $2,000. Now, I've been wanting to try electric shifting for a long time, and I've never considered it really worth the asking price. And $2,000 is definitely not worth the asking price, in my opinion. I'm not going to spend $2,000 on a group set. Now, even if I wanted to just update what I already have, I'm looking at well over $1,000 to change my shifting to electric. And while I've been on long rides where I'm like, man, I really am getting tired of shifting, it's not that hard to shift. My 5800 105 shifting is fine. So change the cables about every year or so, and keep everything clean, and it shifts good. Electric, I'm sure, is better, and I would really like to try it, but it's just one more thing to charge. It's like, you think about it, I got to charge my Garmin, I got to charge my phone, I might have to charge the lights, and then I take my bike out, and I've got to make sure I have, my heart rate strap. I've got one more thing to worry about. Did I charge my components, my bike battery? And then you end up, I've seen so many people who are pushing their bike up hills or pedaling in weird gears because they forgot to shift their bike battery or charge their bike battery. The other problem with this new 105 is that it's disc brake only. And I'm just going to say, I think disc brakes on bikes, on road bikes, is dumb. Okay, I know it's improved a lot. It's huge on mountain bikes. It's awesome. It's good on gravel bikes, but probably not really necessary. On road bikes, I think it's dumb. I don't need more brake performance on my road bike. I barely touch the brakes. And if I do need more brake performance, then what I probably need is the ability to stop and modulate my speed on long, gradual, mountain passes, which we don't have around here. I have almost died on a mountain bike going down a fast descent when the brakes they got too hot and they just quit working. I had to really, really quickly start modulating them, letting them cool, kind of focusing on one, then switching to the other, and they were just barely working. I could smell fire coming off my wheel. I don't want to experience that on a road bike. And I know it's better, the heat dissipation is a lot better, but still, I wouldn't want to trust a 160, 180 millimeter rotor to stopping my weight going down a mountain pass. But I know I can trust my rim brakes because I've had to make a couple fast stops on mountain passes in my life, and I was fine. That leads me to through axles. Through axles are one of the things where to me, it's like a step backwards. I understand for big hit bikes, I understand for mountain bikes, and if it's with disc brakes, I rode mountain bikes without through axles. I still have one. I never had trouble with it. It's just a regular quick release on the disc brake, and it's been fine. I don't know why this push to have through axles everywhere. To me, it makes no sense. The quick release was better. You could just quickly change your wheels. I know that's not a problem. Very few people are having flats, so we don't have as many flats as we used to, especially with better tires, and especially those people who are running tubeless. But still, I just don't think through axles are worth it. Integrated stupidity, that's another thing. I understand if you're doing a time trial, if you're racing a time trial, or if you're, off the front and you need the most aero advantage possible, maybe not having those cables dragging that tiny little bit of wind is slowing you down. I understand that for the, people that are racing, but for most of us, if we're going fast, we're in a draft. Aero is good. Aero is probably the fastest way, but there's so many better ways to get speed through aero instead of running your cables through the handlebars, through the stem, through the frame and making cable changes like something that you need a physics degree to do. Should just be very easy to change cables. I can't imagine you're losing that much speed from your cables when you're going 20 miles an hour, and 20 miles an hour is the speed most of us go most of the time when we're pushing it by ourselves, I think. I mean, that's me at least. I don't go much faster than that. I'm not a fast racer, okay? So looking at bike prices, I was just curious, like in LA, a specialized LA entry level, the cheapest specialized road bike is $1,000. And it comes with Claris 8-speed shifting, which is probably a great bike. I'm sure it's a very good frame. And, you know, I'd say it probably weighs 20 something pounds. I don't know what it weighs. It's probably not terribly heavy, but Claris 8-speed shifting, I mean, I don't know what the range is on that, but 8-speed's pretty old. I mean, we've been riding, I rode 9-speed for a long time. I've been on 10-speed. I didn't ride 10-speed very long. I kind of almost took the jump to 11. I'm on 11-speed now. I don't feel a need to go to 12, but I really wouldn't want to go back to 8. I really like having that better gear spacing, wider range. So I can't believe that they can't sell an entry-level road bike. To me, an 8-speed aluminum road bike, $600 or $700. You know, I mean, $1,000. That's getting up there. You know, that's getting up there into expensive golf club territory. Basically, I'm saying it's turning cycling into an elitist sport, and it really shouldn't be. It's not country club sport, and that's what it's turned into. Because if you need $1,000 just to get the bike that you're going to want to upgrade after one ride, they're out of whack. Looking up into what I consider upper range, and it's really funny because in my mind, what is upper range is now bottom range. Like a Tarmac Sport is $3,500 right now. And some of this is pandemic pricing, but the pandemic's been over, and I'm not seeing these prices drop. You know, inflation is real, but also I think, you know, I know there was all kinds of supply chain problems, but hey, it's time to start looking at, are we really going to sustain a $35 entry-level race bike? $3,500. The Tarmac Sport comes with, I think, 105 11-speed. I don't remember the weight on it. I looked it up. I think it was like 18 pounds or 17.75 or something like that, probably for like a small or something. But I'm sure it's an awesome bike. Again, it's carbon. It's an awesome bike. I'd love to have one, to be honest with you, an SL6 Tarmac Sport, but I'm not going to pay $3,500 for it. I mean, again, I know cyclists, you know, people look at the price bikes cost, and there's people out there that say $1,000 bike is insane. Well, $3,500 ought to be a little bit better than entry level, but you know, I would think that an entry level race bike with 105 components ought to be more like around 2,000. You know, maybe less. I still think we're asking a lot. So my thoughts on this right now, like if I had to go out and buy a new bike, like right now, maybe my bike blew up or something, I think I'd go Bikes Direct. I mean, I can upgrade bikes myself and stuff, and I was looking on there, I could find a nice steel frame Motorbicane Immortal for $1,000 with 11-speed Shimano, full 11-speed Shimano group set, other than the crank, I think, which was a Gossamer, which those are good cranks. So $1,000, and yeah, it's a steel bike. It's probably going to be 20 pounds, but it's probably going to be a pretty good bike. I mean, I feel like I would rather have that $1,000 bike than the $1,000 Tarmac. The bike industry, they're pushing us in directions I don't know if we really want to go, but also I know customers want them. I've been in bike shops and I've seen people come in and they're like, I want a bike with disc brakes. I got to get a road bike with disc brakes. Mine's no good. So I'm sure they're selling a lot of bikes with it, but they won't sell one to me. See you guys.